Hello, good morning. My name is Vita Sadanandan, and today is the 6th of April, 2026. The time is 6:38 a.m. The area of body we will be maintaining health of by the Nirbeeja Yoga style is the region of the hips. Now, I invite you to take a seat on a chair, which is of just enough height that you can place your feet flat on the ground with your feet shoulder width apart, shoulder width wide, and your knees placed at a 90-degree angle to your feet. And this allows for your knees to be at a 90-degree angle to your hips. Sit deep in your chair such that the base of your spine or your spine is okay, the base of your spine is more closer to the back of your chair, is aligned with the back of the chair. And this allows for your upper body, the upper portion of your body, to rest on the back of the chair, which means the chair would need to have a backrest. And also armrest so that your elbows can rest on them, or at least your forearms can rest on them. And this allows for your bony framework to be relaxed enough that the bony composition, the bony structure of your body is supporting each other, but also is rested on a chair. So any undue tension in maintaining your posture upright or in a seated position is then balanced well enough so that your bones can be and your muscles can be, which means the muscles, which is then hanging on to your bones for support, for structure, can then be relaxed enough with the support of the chair and with your bony framework in a balanced equilibrium, so to speak, balanced weight, distribution of weight between the chair and your body. Now, when you're aware of your body in this posture, it becomes easier to notice a natural physiology of your body when you have made sure you're sitting in a safe space. Just make sure you're sitting in a place where your muscles are not tending to bunch up because there may be fear in the environment, or there could be something you need to be alert about, which means you may need to close the door or be aware of what's in the environment, who's there around. If you're threatened in any way, to at least notice there are these thoughts, to at least notice there might be these experiences within your bodily framework, that some of your muscles may be tending to bunch in preparation for just in case somebody comes, or if there is somebody coming, then you would need to then move. So that may be giving certain tension in your conscious, subconscious, and conscious, supraconscious processes, which may not be allowing you to just sit in your chair with your bones and muscles relaxed. Now, once you take into account of what is there in your physical experience, in the seated posture, try and see if you can allow, or it's not give your weight to the chair, but rather see if you can allow the chair to hold your weight. Or try giving your weight to the chair. And the chair is held by earth, where earth has been supporting a lot of people since a very long time. Try and see if you can trust trust earth to hold the chair up, to hold your weight. Or can you be aware enough of how is your body composition? Your muscles may be tensing due to whatsoever reasons. It could be in the environment, it could be something that may be having you be alert, and your chair is on earth and you're sitting on the chair. That gives a fine balance between how your bodily experience is and your certainty versus uncertainty with the stability of the chair. If the chair is unstable, a little shaky, then you would be a little unstable, or you would feel unstable. And howsoever may be your relationship with earth, yeah, however may be your experience with earth. So what you're doing is you're basically acknowledging how things are and noticing how is your bodily position given all of these several dynamics in your conscious, subconscious, unconscious, superconscious processes between what you know and don't know. So you're basically paying attention to how things are in your bodily experience at this point in time, whatsoever may be the reason. This may be how things are. So you're not fixing or changing anything. You're only noticing how things are. And it's also called what so. What is so? That allows for you to notice things in a way that is not based on judgment or likes and dislikes or preconceived notions or wishes, but to notice what is so, how things are, what is. And then there will be many questions on why they are and many other where they are and where is it coming from or other. Yeah. So there will be many related influences or causes, affects. Causes are quite interesting. Coming to them will take a little while, but at least paying attention to what is so. If you can pay attention to how things are, it becomes easier for you to arrive at what is so. You may be having a difficulty with the reality or our ideas of what is facts and fiction. We may not have discerned facts from fiction. So noticing, um, now by noticing how things are, it becomes easier to discern facts versus fiction. Some people tend to think of fiction as illusion or maya. Maya is also from how things are and are constructs of reality from our ideas of how things are, known or unknown factors. So think there are things we know, there are things we don't know. And then life as seen or our outlook at life from known or unknown factors is also illusion or the Maya. We tend to call it as Maya, which means we are kind of generalizing it as this is how life is and this is how things are going to be. And we tend to predict from there, which is also Maya. But here, this is Maya. When you think of it as Maya, as arising from our preconceived notions, known or unknown, um, facts have been checked or not, and then life as seen, our outlook at life, experience of life, um, and what we do versus don't do, can do, can't do, based on um, our appreciation of the matter, with or without fact checking. Yeah, without actually arriving at what is so, which requires paying attention to details. Noticing how things are helps us arrive at a better appreciation of the matter. So there is things that work, things that don't work. Um, higgledy piggledy. We may have given too much weightage for some things or less weightage for something. And so our appreciation of the matter, it's not just values, our ability to take stock of how things are may have gotten affected. And so we don't really know what is so and live in our own illusion sometimes. And our story of life, our constructs of reality based on those details. Now, having said that, if you are having a notebook in front of you, Hmm. The area of body we would be maintaining health of today is the region of hips. So if you have a book in front of you and you can write your name while you're aware of how things are, it may bring your attention to your handwriting at this point in time while you are in different stages of being aware of how things are. And this is not good or bad. Your handwriting is what it is. Your handwriting is how things are also. But as you become aware of your bodily composition, you will notice changes. That is, if you continue to write, if you continue to maintain your book, and take notes and ask questions when you're comfortable enough. You can ask your questions on learn.dynamicstillnesses.com. learn.dynamicstillnesses.com. So there is this tab on the top right corner that says services, which has a list of options by which you can contact me and we can work together. If something is working, not working, we can work through details. There is also my WhatsApp number, so you could message me on it so we can begin a conversation. Now, I invite you to bring your attention to the region of your hips, left and right sides, which sort of forms the x-axis of your center of gravity. We consider a line moving between the left hip to the right hip, connecting along a line that would form the x-axis. Your body sitting upright would be the y-axis, and the direction of your thighs would be the z-axis or the z-axis. And the point at which you are maintaining a center of gravity in the seated posture would be the 0 point. Yeah, and that could be balanced or not, depending on the distribution of weight between your left and right sides of your body, and also the front and back. If you're a little tilted forward, a little back, if you are not aware of your center of gravity or the axis of the center of gravity, which may take a little while, but at least we can pay attention to your hips or about the seated posture between your hips and between the front versus back difference in weight. If you can notice where may be your center of gravity, which may be a point somewhere in the center of your pelvis, about there. And if you notice that your body is upright, that there could be an axis which may not be along your spine. If you drop a plumb line, like if you put a weight on a thread, yeah, say a stone, you put tie a stone with a thread, and then you hold the thread up, then the weight of the stone will hold the thread in a straight line. Now imagine that point. Okay, I'm using imagination. If such a point can be kind of arrived, your body is having such a plumb line, a center of gravity, which shifts when you move, when you're walking, then that line shifts. It may take a little while, but instead of imagining it, if you can notice where may be your center of gravity, about your hips, about your abdomen, about your chest, about your shoulders, about your neck, about your head. Do you have a sense of center of gravity? Or do you think you may need to adjust between left and right sides, front and back, so that your head is at a balanced weight and not too heavy in the front while your back muscles are too much straining? Or the left muscles are more straining than the right, which means your balance may be tilted to the right because your left muscles are more straining. If your right muscles are straining, you may be more tilted to the left. So that may be a way to kind of be aware of where may be your center of gravity. And if you are constantly, your position, your posture is in such a way that your balance is constantly a little off balance, off center. And if it's off center, your balance is off. It's not an equal between left and right, front and back, up and down. And also in and out. Now, in and out will take a little while because there are several fine details related with it. Because our relationship with ourselves versus the environment versus the government versus God, there are several details about between in and out. So your internal anatomy maybe have taking a little moment. Also, you would need to notice your relationship with your complementary partner, which forms an interesting dynamics. Now, this factor is not known by many people about our human body composition. That our body is complementary with our um, other half of the heart. Now you draw the image of the heart. So there is one half, which is actually your whole, and then your complementary partner's half, which is given by the idea of Ardhanarishwar or Adam and Eve. So each person have their own complementary partner, and not knowing this gives rise to the push and pull in our ability to be. So the in and out is sometimes off balance, which also affects your position of your hips, your ability to be versus not be, how you move, which side do you tend to put your legs on? So you cross your legs when you're sitting, or how you walk, or how you manage your balance. How do you work with yourself, with people, your relationship with happiness? Are you dependent on your partner, or can you be self-reliant? Several details then affects your center of gravity, but also your be ability. But it also affects your muscle composition, your bony composition, your confidence, but um, mm, your story of life, what you can do, what you can't do, how fast can you move, is also determined by this conscience. Is a conglomerate science of how you are related with your complementary partner. And you have a significant other. You do have a significant other. You have a body that's human, you have a significant other. Now, that gives you concerns about, are you related with your significant other? So doubt, and you are alive, you are related with your significant other, and you don't know how you're related with people in your life. So you don't know the mother, father, siblings, friends, community, who's supporting you, who's not supporting you, all of that related with the health, wealth, wisdom of your life. So you could be having a push pull from many kinds of people having their influence on you. So what you're aware of, you have an ease. What you don't know about gives you a dis-ease, and you don't know how to manage between the ease and dis-ease. So if you're going to somehow fix it, you're going to change it, you frequency, energy, vibration, modulations. You have quantum and qualum affects. Okay, lots of details. Hips, your ability to pay attention and recalibrate. Okay, you can be aware of your hips, the x-axis. Your B ability is also depending on your x-axis, y-axis, z-axis, your trigonometry. Yeah, creator, preserver, destroyer. Yeah, which direction are you going? You have a vehicle, which direction is your life going is also determined by your XYZ. So your hips allows you to sit, stand, walk, your B ability. Yeah. So if you can pay attention to your x-axis, that's telling you a little bit about your horizontal axis. Yeah. There is still the vertical sphere of influence. You're talking about the horizontal sphere of influence, or how much you are kind of supported or feel supported along earth, on this earth. Yeah. If you can notice a certain, you may or may not be aware of how your muscles are related with your bones, related with different tissues, but you are on earth and you have a body that's human and you have hips and you're sitting. So you're already doing well enough. Yeah. Or you're doing well enough according to how's your composition. And when your relationship with how things are gets better, your position, your posture gets better. Your tissue composition gets better. Your be ability becomes better. Yeah. And then your doability is also related with that. So you could be doing things which then maintains your composure, your doability, and consequent beability. So there's dharmendriya karma and karmendriya dharma. So both needs to be balanced. Dharma is also how's the wellness or beability of your body uh, from the work you do, karma, and also when you the what work you do being based on the truth of the matter. That's also your body. So that's dharmendriya karma, karmendriya dharma. And there are two more, charma and dharma. We'll come to that. So when you pay attention to your tissue, your skin, and yeah, in terms of warmth, your body in terms of warmth, in terms of softness, you're a little more coming to the charma bit. And then it is, are you functioning by your dharma? That may also depend on how's your diet. Are you eating, are you a petrol vehicle putting diesel into your body? Yeah, which means the food you need to eat is something else, but you are eating something else. For example, if you're not able to eat vegetables, no, different stages of life, but different people are eating according to what they are ready for. So the soul that has it in them to go up, become better, goes up to heal, and that's also health, heal and degree of becoming better. So the soul that has it in them to go down goes down. So um, your choices. So are you moving towards health or are you moving towards not so much health? Also depends on your choices. So your choices also tell you which direction you're going. Yeah. So try and include some vegetables if you can. Um, yeah, because that may also depend on how much of healing you need to do or how much water can you drink. Because when you're reaching for water, when you're reaching for vegetables, you are a little more reaching out for life. You're a little more reaching out for health. So greater chances of your content healing, your substance becoming better, because it takes something to have vegetables. Your environment may or may not be supporting vegetables. That could also mean your environment needs to heal. Your country, your that global part of that global aspect of Earth needs to heal. When you heal, your environment heals. Your part of the globe, the same Earth, heals. So you can support your environment healing. So if you can reach for water more than alcohol or soda or fruit juices, then you are beginning to heal you, your environment, people around you, the country. Lot of influences. Can reach for vegetables more than meat. If meat is the only source available, then your land needs to heal. You need to be able to eat vegetables if you can. With what is available, yeah, natural vegetation. But when you heal, your through your genetic influence also, your people, your country heals, your land heals. And earth would breathe more healthier naturally. There is desertification we've heard about, and there's ice, global warming, and many kinds of details, but in a way that needs to sustain life. So when you heal, you contribute in earth healing too, universe healing. All right, the hips, yeah, left versus right. Try and pay attention to any sense of warmth and softness about the sides of your hips, left and right sides. This is the hips are the region where your thigh bones meet your pelvic girdle. And if you're having a discomfort listening to what I'm saying, that's the point which is having you be uncomfortable doing what you need to do. Because your ability to maintain your composition helps you contribute in what things are developing or what things are developing. Whoever you are, I don't know who you are, but your ability to be and notice what's happening about the region of your hip. Now, I don't know if I'm talking to man or machine. Yeah. Nevertheless, um, when we regard our things also as having life of their own, non-living apparently, but they also have a certain conscience. It's a conglomerate science that makes a clock, or a chair, or a bazooka. Oh my goodness. Yeah, or a vehicle. Mechanics would know that the vehicle also has a certain life of its own. Yeah, they pay attention to details. All the engines are working together. There's a certain um, consciousness, no, conscience about them that maintains their composition in beability. Um, So, where is our elements formed from? Our bodies, earth, water, fire, and spirit space, not just from the heart of stars, but also from instruments in the past, computers that then were broken and, you know, or were put in the garbage dump. And then from there, there may be different kinds of metabolism happening, which also forms earth, water, fire, and spirit space, forms the information that then also forms our um, ways of thinking, their experience of living, what works, doesn't work. So, um, not much spoken about. And so there are different kinds of people, particles and vehicles, and so different influences or influencers, and we help them all become better. The quality of life, what we create, how we relate with things. We relate our own body also as things, like it is paining. If tooth is paining, it is paining. Yeah. We also relate to our body as it. It is also information technology. Yeah. So computer, so this is different kind of information technology. This is nature's original information technology. And we are basically authoring our own lives by how we relate to our body, how we relate to the environment, how we relate with things, how we relate with people, with what have you, God, nature, known, unknown. Our hips tell the story of how is the balance between left and right. How is the muscles able to be versus uh, uh, a little anxiety because of things you know versus don't know. Yeah. So your sittability is also your walkability, standability, hips. Yeah. That joint. Yeah. It's like Siamese twins. It's like two people, male and female, held together at the hips, at the pelvis. Yeah. And that's also the masculine and feminine. Left side is said to be the feminine and right side is said to be the masculine. X and Y, X chromosome, Y chromosome. So that's XY already. And you have the X axis, Y axis, and Z axis. Yeah, XY. If you tend to be using your right hand more, you are giving more power to the male side, while your female side needs a little help. So we may be more right-handed people than left-handed, which may be giving rise to the male dominance versus female. But our equity, our sense of having a sense of male and female being equally important, maybe also because we don't try to write with our left. We also need to be able to use our left equally well enough because that brings about a certain balance in equations. Otherwise, we continue to have a right side take the brunt of the matter, and you age fast on the right side than the left. Across the globe, if you notice, over time, people age on the right fast than the left. That's something that's noticed, unless I've got the side wrong. But right side, it has been found that starting about the late Triassic era is when there was a mass extinction event when early mammals, when the male genes of the Y chromosome began to start reducing from 900 to present about 55 or so. And our human body is formed from father's material. It's mother's material that then bakes our body into human body shape in the womb. Yeah. But our body is formed from the shape of the body is from the sperm, which is why we have our skull and our spine looking like a sperm. Yeah. With a tail right at the bottom. The whole being the spine being the tail of the sperm, so to speak, and our body being like it should be like the ovum, but we are not so round. don't put on so much weight that you look so round. Yeah, that's not the idea. There's this idea of Celtic sword and shield. So a body being the shield and the um, skull and spine being the sword. Yeah. Keep your sword inside the shield. Yeah. Very, very good. And you have the bony framework to keep the sword and the shield connected. So being aware of your bones, also your arms, your rib cage, and your pelvic girdle, quite a scabbard, yeah, scaffold, okay, scaffold, to hold the sword and the shield well together. Your pelvic girdle and your shoulder girdle and your rib cage is quite a life vest. Yeah, it's taken some while for the sword and shield to form. And then you have your muscles, all soft tissue, nicely packed. Yeah. But if you just regard them as just packaging, then you are sometimes engaging in risky behavior, which could then hurt the soft padding. Yeah. The softness maintains the structure of the matter. Yeah. Alrighty. If this allows for you to sit a little better, or at least be aware a little more about the x-axis, your y-axis, and your z-axis. So when you're standing up, your nose is pointing or your face is pointing which direction is your z. Yeah. And that doesn't mean you always need to keep walking forward. You're already facing forward. Yeah. And you have your y-axis, your upright body, and your z-axis, your horizontal line. So take care of your trigonometry, trigonometry. The Sri Chakra at least has a triangle at the center. That's kind of like XYZ, kind of. At least health, wealth, wisdom, creator, preserver, destroyer. Which direction you're going depends on, it's like a compass. Yeah. The thing is, that's a frame of reference. There are several fine details, but you can look at the Sri Chakra for a frame of reference. How that works, what is not already visible in it, you will learn if you sign up and participate in what I'm making available on learn.dynamicstillnesses.com. Because then you'll know fine details of how the Sri Chakra works, what are the finer details. If you already think you know it, you don't know it. Yeah, because I have been surprised over this past year on several details we didn't know there was to think about the Sri Chakra. For example, I discovered mighty conscience. Sri Chakra emerges from mighty conscience. Yeah. So there are several details within the framework, familiar framework, by which to maintain health, wealth, and wisdom, and sustainable health, wealth, and wisdom. We are all on the same planet because we don't know at least the Sri Chakra. Yeah. Alrighty, lots of details. So you can look at the Sri Chakra and the triangle at the center of it for reference for health, wealth, and wisdom, or creator, preserver, destroyer, or XYZ. Yeah, they are interesting. There's a trigonometry. Alrighty. At the Sri Chakra is also a 2D representation of the four-dimensional aspect. That's also the Sri Yantra. So our body at least has front, back, left, right, like four walls of a room. And then there's the top of the head for a roof and floor of the feet for a floor. Yeah, soles of the feet for a floor. So that's like a space. So maintaining your room, your body room in the whole scheme of things is also how you maintain health. So whether or not you're sitting in a room, you're sitting under a tree, walking, yeah, you have your body, which means you already have a room from which to live life. Take care of your room. How you take care of your room? Such that you are becoming better, well, people around you are becoming well, and future generations are becoming well, and their future generations are also becoming well, ensures health, wealth, and wisdom for a long time. Yeah, because when you take care of your garden, you're also making sure your neighbors' gardens are also doing well. That is kind of a guarantee that the bees pollinating your neighbors' gardens is also maintaining health of your garden because they have no boundaries. So when you are making sure they are also doing well and their future generations are also doing well, That's insurance, health insurance at least. Yeah. And life insurance too. No, no. Health, wealth, wisdom. Health is there. And then what you do then ensures wealth. How you earn money also ensures wealth. And then how you maintain wealth and health is also wisdom. So you could be doing how things have been, including take from your neighbor and then maintain the imbalance, and it's okay, it's your birthright, and your conscience in any many directions will not really help you maintain the health of health and health of wealth and health of wisdom. So this is about Shrishti optimization. Yeah. So we are all on the same planet Earth and don't know many facets of what we need to think about. For example, we don't know quantum mechanics. We think in terms of quantum mechanics. Quality of the matter affects the quantity of what we have and also how we live life. Numbers are also affected by quality, and which is not quite numbered. Quality hasn't been put in numbers as much. It's like a changing dynamic. It's like waves, several factors, and then affects the numbers. And you don't know what is affecting the factors. Yeah. Factory. Alrighty. Fact. Our ability to work with facts is affected because of our relationship with quality versus quantity. Yeah. We may be more quantity prone than quality prone. Makes a big difference in how health is maintained, how health is appreciated. What do you do with your life? Quality of life, quality time with people. 5-minute discussion, what's the quality of the discussion? Yeah. You're eating something, what's the quality of what you're choosing to? And then how that affects your bodily composition. Your XYZ, trigonometry, beability, doability, charma, dharma, karma, marma. Yeah. Thank you so much for your kind interest. I hope this has been of value to you. Good day. Meet you in the evening, 6:30 to 7. Same topic, hips. Let's see what's there to be spoken about in the evening. And how's the physiology speaking about how the life experiences. If you're regularly recalibrating, paying attention to your hip and noticing how things are today, by evening you would be in a better state. Yeah. Because you would be a little more aware of your own composition. And the story of your life through this day's 24 hours begins to become better. And we all have 24 hours in a day. We're all on the same planet Earth. So a beggar and a billionaire both have 24 hours. It's about what each one does in their 24 hours. Good luck. Luck is also what you choose to do. And then over time, there's compounding effect. So to the point where something that just opens up and you don't know how that happened. You just became lucky overnight? No. Iterative improvement of choices. Mahalakshmi or Varalakshmi. The Vara is also the boon or luck is also. There are several fine details about that. But pay attention to your choices. Pay attention to what happens to your hips when you make better choices, when you make healthier choices. That will be something to notice. Thank you so much for your kind interest. Good day.